All right, Mr. Aha here. We're going to go over LT4 Exponent Rules, practice quiz number 2. We're going to work through it here, okay? So starting with Golden Standard 4.1, using the properties of exponents. Your final answer should contain only positive exponents. First things we got here, let's multiply our coefficients. Negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. Look at your x's. I got x cubed times x to the 4th. When we're multiplying like this, we add the exponent. X cubed, 3x's multiplying, x to the 4th, 4x's. Means we have a total of 7x's multiplying. Y, I've got y to the negative 5th times y cubed. Add them together, negative 5 plus 3 is y to the negative 2nd. Now, again, only positive exponents. So I got to make this a positive 2. How do I do it? Think about the fact that y to the negative 2 is the same as 1 over y squared. It's on the bottom of the fraction. So my final answer here, negative 14x to the 7th on the top over y squared. Next one. We got to look at a fraction here. Treat each part, break it up. So I've got 6 over 3 times x to the 4th over x to the 4th times y cubed over y to the 4th. Treat each variable separately. 6 divided by 3 is 2 over 1. X to the 4th is 1 over 1. Y cubed over y to the 4th is 1 over y. We cancel out. This looks like this. Over y times y times y times y. Cancel, cancel, cancel. You're left with 1 over y. Multiply it all together. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times y is y. All right, next one. 3 times x to the 0 power times y squared. X to the 0 power is just 1. So it turns out we don't have to worry about that one. The 0 exponent only applies to the x, though. 3 cubed is 27. X to the 0 power is 1 cubed. It's just 1. We don't have to worry about it. Y squared cubed is y to the 6th. Again, we multiply exponents. Power to a power. Why? Because this is like y squared times y squared times y squared. 2 times 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. And the last one. A couple different ways you could do this. You could simplify inside first, then square it, or apply this exponent on the outside first. I'm going to simplify first. 2 over 8 simplifies to 1 over 4. A squared over a cubed. 2 minus 3 is negative 1, so there's 1a left on the bottom. B squared over b looks like that, and then I'm going to square it. 2 minus 1 gives us 1b on top. Square it, b squared. 4 squared is 16, and a squared. There's our final answer. Oops, sorry. There you go. Now you can see it. So that's Golden Standard 4.1. Let's move on to 4.2. Fractional and negative exponents without a calculator. Okay. 64 to the negative 4/3 power. I like to deal with the negative first. So I'm going to make that 1 over 64 to the 4/3 power. That takes care of the negative. Now to the 4/3 power, that's like 1 over the cube root of 64 to the 4th power. Now we could raise 64 to the 4th power and then take the cube root. Might as well get a smaller number first. What is the cube root of 64? That would be 4 to the 4th power. 4 to the 4th power is 256. 8 to the negative 2nd power is 1 over 8 to the 2nd power, which is 1 over 64. And the negative exponent just means flip the fraction. Instead of 8 over 1, it's 1 over 8. Then the exponent becomes positive. 1/32 to the negative 2/5 power. First step, let's take care of that negative, so it becomes 32 to the 2/5 power. That's the same as the 5th root of 32 squared. The bottom number, the denominator in our fractional exponent, becomes the root, the 5th root. The top number becomes our exponent. The 5th root of 32 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. Lastly, what's the cube root of negative 27? What number times itself? 3 times equals negative 27 is negative 3. Wait, Mr. A, you can't have a square root be a negative. Careful, it's a cube root. because negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 equals negative 27. All right, that's golden standard 4.2. Let's keep going. For 4.3, we got to solve for some variables in an exponent. So let's start here. 2 times x to the 3/4 power plus 7 equals 23. We want to get this by itself. So let's start undoing our equation. First step, subtract 7 from each side. 2 times x to the 3/4 power equals 16. Divide both sides by 2. There we go. Now I've got it by itself. X to the 3/4 power equals 8. Well, what does this mean? This means the 4th root of x cubed equals 8. How do I undo this? One step at a time. First step, let's undo the cube. How do I undo the cube? Take a cube root of both sides. Those cancel, so I'm left with just the 4th root of x equals the cube root of 8 is positive 2. How do I undo the 4th root? Raise it to the 4th power. Those cancel, and I'm left with just x, 2 to the 4th power. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. Next one, when we got two things equal, x is in the exponents, our goal is to have the same base. So we got to make these two the same base. What number can be raised to a power, the same number, to both equal 64 and 16? Well, 2 works, but what other number? There a number bigger than 2? Sure. We can write 64 as 4 cubed and keep the 2x. And we can write 16 as 4 squared times 2x plus 6. Now, what do we do with our exponents? Power to a power, we multiply them. So 4 to the 6x power equals 4. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 6 is 12. Now, if 4 to the 6x power equals 4 to the 4x plus 12 power, that means these two, the exponents, must be equal. Now we're solving this equation right here. Get your x's on one side, subtract 4x from both sides. So 2x equals 12, divide by 2. You find x equals 6. And the last one. Again, x is in both exponents. We got to find the same base on both sides. What number can be raised to a power to equal both 1, 8, and 4? Well, 4 we could rewrite as 2 squared to the x plus 4 power. But how about 1 over 8? Well, 2 to what power is 1/8? Well, if I know 2 cubed equals 8, that means 2 to the negative 3rd power equals 1/8. So 2 to the negative 3rd power to the 2x power equals 2 squared to the x plus 4 power. Multiply your exponents. So you've got 2 to the negative 6x equals 2 to the 2x plus 8. Because we have the same base now, we can set the exponents equal. Negative 6x equals 2x plus 8. And solve. Subtract 2x from both sides. Negative 8x equals 8. Divide by negative 8. And x equals negative 1. Okay, last one, 4.4. In this one, it's all about undoing your pieces one at a time. Okay, it's all about undoing them one at a time. Now, these numbers are big. On the real quiz, the numbers will be a lot smaller. You won't need a calculator. All right, for these ones, it's okay if you use a calculator. So let's check this out. How do we want to do this? We got 11a to the negative 13 times b to the negative 2nd over all of this raised to the negative 4 power. I'm going to distribute my negative first. I'm going to apply the power property and apply this negative 4 first. So I'm going to do 11a to the negative 13, b to the negative 2nd, keeping that entirely the same. And I'm going to apply this. Negative 3 to the negative 4th is 1 over 81. Okay, 3 to the 4th, 1 over 3 to the 4th, negative 3 to the 4th. Multiply your exponents. Negative 2 times negative 4 is a to the 8th. b to the 5th, negative 4, is b to the negative 20. Now here, go one at a time. What's going on here? I've got 11 divided by 1 over 81 times a to the negative 13 over a to the 8th times b to the negative 2nd over b to the negative 20. Well, 11 divided by 1 over 81 is the same as 11 times 81. So that's going to become 891. Negative 13 minus 8 is a to the negative 21st. Negative 2 minus 20 is b to the 18th. Finally, only positive exponents, no negatives. So my final answer, the a to the negative 21, is going to move to the bottom of the fraction. There are different ways to simplify this. This is simply one way to do it. Okay? Different roads to get to the same place. All right, let's look at the next one. Again, break it up. Look at each part in turn. I've got negative 27 over 36 times x to the negative 6 over x to the negative 13th times y to the 5th over y to the negative 11th. Negative 27 over 36 is negative 3 over 4. Negative 6 minus negative 13 is x to the 7th. Y to the 5th minus 5 minus negative 11 is 16. Multiply together. Negative 3, x to the 7th, y to the 16th, over 4. And the last one. Again, many different ways you could do this. Okay, I'm going to start by applying the negative first. So I'm going to rewrite it. I'm just going to flip the fraction, do nothing else. All I'm doing here is flipping the fraction to apply the negative exponent. Now, it's a positive 3 exponent, negative to positive because I flipped it. Now I'm going to simplify what's inside. Okay, so 10 over 5 simplifies to 2 over 1. X to the negative 5th minus x to the negative 4th is x to the negative 1st. Y to the 2nd over y to the 6th is y to the negative 4th cubed. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2 over x y to the 4th, just getting rid of those negative exponents, cubed. Now apply your exponent. 2 cubed is 8, x cubed, y to the 4th cubed, 4 times 3 is y to the 12th. There is your final answer. Okay, hope this helps. Good luck.